Hello to any and all movie nerds and fans out there. Welcome to Film Obsessed, where today we are going to break down Fede Álvarez making arguably one of the best comments about his new Alien Romulus movie that should be heard by everyone throughout the film and television industry. They are comments that, in my opinion, may have just made this movie one that will be sought out by even more people than before, including myself. Without further ado, let's jump right into the breakdown. Just in the past week, the director for the new Alien Romulus movie, Fede Álvarez, has been going out and promoting his movie through interviews. In one of those interviews, he gave several comments that, in my opinion, should be putting the film industry in a place to listen. They are comments around a particular subject within the idea of filmmaking that make for what I hope to see be done more in the future. It is the whole idea around practicality and lessening up on the usage of visual effects and CGI. Something that, as has been shown so far in this new Alien movie, is being utilized to a heavy extent. Most people have already known that this movie was going to be going back to that formula that the original films used, but there is something particular within the comments from Fede that make it so much more eye-opening for other filmmakers out there to take inspiration from. In an interview recently, he talked about his approach to filmmaking and specifically with his Alien movie. He talked about how he had a number one rule in mind when shooting it, saying, if it can be done practical, it will be done practical. He talked about how he didn't want any green screen and very limited use of CGI, and simultaneously moved to more practical effects with regards to handmade miniatures of spaceships. Handmade miniatures are one of the film industry's most iconic filmmaking techniques, of which most famously have been well known for their usage in the Star Wars franchise in the original trilogy films. Most of the spaceships you see in those films are made through the lens of their practical handmade nature. Now, it doesn't go without saying, but even though he is taking on this technique, there are still going to be some uses of CGI in his Alien film. We've seen some of that through the trailers for Alien Romulus, but at the same time, with the CGI has been improved throughout the years. It can only help make the scenes with a miniature ship look even better. One of the other practical endeavors that he went forward with was the idea of using practical remote control facehuggers. There is a behind-the-scenes video showcasing how they look, and this is another area that I really love that they went into. Yes, some facehuggers in the movie will be CGI, but for the most part, this is something that is mixed in with the CGI that I like that they are utilizing. A good mix of practical and visual effects is always good. Another part of the interview that stood out to me is where he talked about how movies used to try to fool people using practical effects and believes that the industry has abandoned that approach. In an age that's dominated by superhero movies, the film industry is not keen on photorealism anymore. To an extent, he absolutely is correct here, and I don't personally take any offense to the idea that he is bashing superhero films with these comments, but he is only pointing out a flaw within them that I think most people such as myself have noticed in recent years. The idea that CGI should be used for practically everything, even in places where it doesn't need to be used, is something that honestly more people need to be pointing out in movies. Some of his quotes from that same interview speak to that very thing, where he says, "No one is trying to get you to believe the creature or whatever it is in there." The special effects movies used to provoke a reaction of, wow, I can't believe I'm seeing this, and it seems like those movies have given up for the most part, but we haven't, which has been an enormous task for us to really push everybody involved, and understanding that particularly with Alien, you need to believe that what you are looking at is real. No truer words could have been spoken with that very last quote, especially when you consider the context of him mentioning Alien in that quote as well. As somebody who has watched pretty much every single one of the Alien films, this really does come off as someone who wants to bring back the formula that made these films as iconic as they were, at least with the original two. Those original two movies set up a formula for future generations to follow, of which I feel definitely was abandoned a little bit with the subsequent sequels that came after. Whether it is Alien 3, Alien Retribution, the Alien vs. Predator films, which have become their own guilty pleasures for some people, to even Ridley Scott's newer set of films with Prometheus, which I personally really like, and then Alien Covenant, which was the last one that we got back in 2017. When talking about the actual film itself in Alien Romulus, so far within the footage, I really am seeing the inspirations shine through from Fede when taking inspiration from those old movies. Many of the shots so far feel like something that you could easily be mistaken to think that they were taken from the first original Alien movie. I also feel like that the marketing and the trailers themselves have done a really good job to sell that this is the direction that they are going down. When you include in the recent comments from Fede, which in their own way market the film themselves, I think that we have a great hit on our hand with this movie, and one that I think hopefully will open the eyes of many others around the film industry to utilizing the ideas that Alien Romulus is trying to set once again. With that all being said, ladies and gentlemen, my fellow film nerds, that is where the video is going to end. I am really excited for this movie, and I am absolutely going to see this in theaters, and I hope to experience it with a crowd as well. If you want to see more moving forward from me on this channel with regards to film, and you enjoyed this video, hit the like button, comment down below your thoughts on what we talked about today, and also subscribe to the channel if you are new here, and turn on that notification bell to be updated for when I upload again. So yeah, that's a wrap, folks. I hope you all have a wonderful rest of the day, and I will see you all soon for the next video.